How's it going, tankers? It's Mad and welcome back to another replay from me, and this time I'm out in a new tank that I've got rid of the Challenger. I did like the Challenger. It wasn't as bad as people said, but it wasn't good enough for me to consider keeping it and going for free gun marks. I needed the silver for this one. And to be fair, the Charioteer, although I don't have it fully upgraded yet, I've still only got the 20-pounder. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty good tank, fellas. Apart from one issue with the 20-pounder, and that's what this video is about. I've played roughly 20 games in this tank so far, and I would say in a third of them I've either run out of ammo or I've nearly run out of ammo. So yeah, if you're gonna get this tank, just be very careful about how you use your rounds. Well, you've probably seen from a lot of my replays, I get quite lax, a bit lazy with my gunnery skills these days. And that sees me wasting quite a few rounds, and it sees me running out quite often. Yeah, I'd say about a third of the games I've played so far, I've either been down to my HE or completely out. And this is going to be the same. And also this gun, it's a 20-pounder. Yeah, that might sound pretty cool, 20 pounds of a round flying along, but in reality, a 20-pounder, the QQF 20-pounder from Royal Ordnance, it works out as an 84mm gun. So I'm cruising around in a tier 8 tank destroyer with an 84mm gun. So when you're talking in terms of barrel width at this tier, most mediums have a 90mm, so their alpha is higher than mine. And even like the Panther 88 has an 88mm, that's still 4mm bigger than this and still has more alpha. So, tier 8 TD, and you can roll for less than 200 damage. Not good, but it's a good gun, the reload's pretty good, it's just not a TD gun. And it sees me doing things I shouldn't really do, because the reload's pretty good, like this. What am I doing? I'm going full on with an Indian Panzer. I push out, I'll win that first duel. I thought my reload was that much better than his, so I thought I could get the second round in without taking one in return, but I was wrong. Anyway, I've put 3 in and taken 1 in return, but unfortunately, there we go, massive laziness. I push around the corner with auto aim, it is angled up a bit, and I lose some more health. So, picked up a couple of kills, decent amount of damage done, but I've only got a third of my health left. Anyway, Centurion goes down, nice hit from the prototype from the back there. And now we get to pick on a tier 7 heavy tank. But you still can't be you can't be too brave with tier 7 heavies. They can pen you almost guaranteed. As long as they know where to aim. Right, so he's looking at me. I'm trying to kill it. I want him dead because he's keeping me spotted. So I push out. And I didn't roll well enough. There we go. See what I mean? 84mm gun. He only had a little bit of health left, and I had to hit him twice. And that is the main reason why this gun doesn't really suit being a tier 8 TD. But the best thing about the Charioteer over, say, something like a prototype, is its mobility. It does get around real quick. And if you did well in the Challenger, you will do well in this. And what do I mean by that? Well, the Challenger, wanky gun, slow turret traverse, but very mobile, and at least it had a turret. Whereas the prototype, yeah, it has a turret and a very, well, it has a banging gun. 120mm on that thing is awesome, but you're lucky if you do 18 km an hour everywhere, whereas this you can do more than double. So, is this like a more of a hybrid type medium tank destroyer thing, and I'm really looking forward to getting the 105. Those Hesh rounds, it's basically the 4202's gun. You get the APCR ammunition with standard, which means you can pen pretty much every tank in the game with your standard ammo. And then the Hesh rounds, 210mm of penetration, that is enough to use on tier 8s and belows, and some tier 9s, and even soft skin tier 10s like the Waffle. and you'll be doing 500 damage per shot. And that means, with a good roll, you can two-shot another challenger. Sorry, a charioteer even. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Right, so game's been going on. 5 minutes of the game gone. I have 4 APCR and 2 high explosive rounds left. If this goes on much longer, I'm going to have no ammo, but at least I'm getting some lovely flanking shots. Into a heavy, but can't even see where I am. Right, there we go. So I've got 1 APCR and 2 HE left, and I've done a fair amount of work, but just imagine if this game didn't go so well. Imagine if the sort of tables were turned. There was only a few greens left and there was a lot of reds left there. I would have absolutely no chance of pulling that one off, because I only had 3 rounds left when I finished there. And the other bad thing about this tank, just like the Challenger, it makes no money. I fired, what, 7 rounds of APCR there, but not out of choice, out of necessity, because you have to have them in your machine for a tier 10 game, and we make no money whatsoever. Anyway, there we go, second on the team. That tier 7 TD had a blinding game for him, so he beats me on experience. So I picked up 4 kills, 4,500 damage. There's that 1,700 odd base experience. Not bad game there for the Charioteer with the 20-pounder. Right, so that's it from me today, Tankers. Got the Charioteer in the garage. Hopefully I'll have the 105 this week, and I shall be bringing out another video soon. Hopefully with a bigger damage game than this one, using the 105 and those nasty Hesh rounds. Right, there we go. Give it a like if you did, sub if you're not, and I'll catch you tomorrow. See you later.